What's going on, everybody? My name is Karthik and I am the COO of UZ Marketing, and I'm here coming at you with a video on some tips and tricks and best practices, do's and don'ts for yard sign marketing. So I get these questions all the time. I see them all the time, and I see questions from customers that don't necessarily know the best places to put their text, or they don't know which orientation to have their information and whatnot. So I'm making this consolidated video as a streamlined way for you to know what's good to put on a yard sign and what's not good to put on a yard sign. So without further ado, we'll go straight into it. So first of all, we have to make the distinction between a couple different types of things, right? Well, three. There's three different types of signs, commonly used type of signs. The first one is a bandit sign. And a bandit sign is typically 2 to 3 lines of text maximum, and they don't have any identifying information. They don't have any fancy calligraphy. They don't have any fancy words or word marks or logos or anything, because the purpose of a bandit sign is to really just get the user's attention, the driver's attention. You get the driver's attention. You have like 3 to 4 seconds maximum to get their attention while they're driving by on the road. So in order to capitalize on those 3-4 seconds that the driver has, you keep it short, sweet, and to the point. For instance, you put lawn care services and then the phone number. Super simple. That's all you're going to need for a bandit sign. Then you have what's called a lawn sign or a yard sign, which is a traditional sign that people refer to when you're talking about yard sign or lawn sign. Even though it's the same material itself, the application of it is vastly different. A lawn sign or yard sign is essentially meant to be used in the lawn or yard of your customer's house. So you put this out there, and it has your branding on it, it has your information, and typically drivers have a little bit more time to look at it and take it all in, and there might even be walking in the neighborhood, walking their dog or something, and they look at your house and they see the yard sign of, let's say for instance, the pressure washing guy came, did the concrete, the driveway, and your neighbor was like, wow, man, this house did such a good job. Oh, look, there's a yard sign. I could tell which company did it, so I can call them. So the next prospective customer, they take a picture of that yard sign and they have that information for later. And a lot of times we hear that this is such a massively successful campaign for a lot of different service-based businesses, because when you're in a neighborhood, you might as well get other customers in that same neighborhood. It's just such a no-brainer when it comes to efficiency, when it comes to making your route denser in the terms of the service-based industry. That's how you do it. Use door hangers and yard signs. But we're here to talk about yard signs, right? So there's also a third type of sign. And this is, again, same material. It's called a political yard sign or a campaign yard sign. And this is the same application as in the lawn sign, except instead of it being a company's identifying information or a service person's identifying information, it's a political candidate. So, for instance, Michael Johnson for mayor, Houston ISD 2020 or 2022 or whatever. It's got multiple different things, and there's very important information. It depends on the place that you're from, the city, state, district, zip code, whatever. All of them have different jurisdictions and different rules for how their sign should be. But here in Texas, there's a couple simple rules. It has to say what the position is for. It has to also say the words either elect or the word for in prominent letters, because if it doesn't have either of those two, it might mislead the voter into thinking that this person is that current chairperson. So, for instance, it has to say elect Michael Johnson for mayor. It can't just say Michael Johnson mayor, because that's misleading. But we'll get into that a little bit later. And I want to go straight into what we have for bandit signs. This right here is a bandit sign. Why is this a bandit sign? Because it has the service and it has a phone number. So you have pressure washing and the phone number. And this by itself right here serves as a bandit sign. This is very simple. This is actually a template that we have already. And you'll find that if you're making bandit signs, you don't need any more than this information, because you have 3 to 4 seconds to get the viewer's attention. And with those 3 to 4 seconds, man, you gotta make sure that make good use of those 3 to 4 seconds. Otherwise, you're just gonna waste those 3 to 4 seconds, and honestly end up wasting that whole order of bandit signs, because bandit signs, they're meant to be used in high volume. So you're gonna want to get 25 at least to maybe 50. 50 is good, or 100. 100 is ideal. You go for 100, and I'm not just saying that to upsell you on a higher quantity. I'm talking about from years of experience understanding the Bandit Sign market and understanding our customers and talking to our customers. It's a volume-based game. Like, you have to flood your area, and when you do so, you get a lot more eyes on it. You get a lot more prospective customers, and you get your name out there. And I have to say this little disclaimer: please be wary of where you put these signs, because there are many local ordinances and city codes that say that it's against placing them in certain right-of-way highways. So please be sure you're double checking with where you're able to put them out, or if you have a pre-existing location that you put them out and you've been doing them for years and years and years, and or even months and months and months, and it's been working for you, great. But don't come back to me and say you put it in a median and tell me that I've told you to put it there, because I didn't. So that's a Bandit sign, right? And you want to keep it like 1 to 2 colors maximum, and I would just say 1 color. Honestly, it may be bad for our business, but I say keep it 1 color. You know why? Because it's so quick to print. We can get these out to you like so quick. It's not even funny. Like, we can make 100 of these in maybe a couple hours. So the process that it takes is just incredibly efficient, and not only that, but it's cheaper too. Like, it's much cheaper for you as a customer to be focusing on 1 color yard signs. And even more benefit, you don't have to have any design experience at all. You just need to know how to click and drag and then replace text with your text. Like pressure washing, for instance, our template looks just like this. The person removed the words that were here and replaced it with pressure washing. This box was already there, and they just replaced the phone number that's here with what their phone number says. So when you're talking about the phone number, this is what you can do for Bandit sign to give it the effect of having 2 colors. Obviously, you're looking at this is blue and red, right? But it's the blue and the, I'm sorry, not blue and red. I'm so ridiculous. This is blue and white. So you have white background here and blue text here. Here, you have the opposite. You have blue background and white text. And this is essentially a way for you to get the effect of having 2 colors, but only keeping it at 1 color, printed color, making the price point at the bare minimum cost that you could possibly get. So we highly recommend this to every single person if they're getting a 1 color yard sign. It's specifically so that it separates these 2 sections. The pressure washing is distinctly separated from the phone number section, and visually speaking, you can kind of tell. And another thing to keep in mind is you want to have the letters as big as possible, because again, we have 3 to 4 seconds for the driver to get the driver's attention. And with that being the case, you need to make sure that we're keeping it as little dense as possible. We want to have the information not dense at all. Like if we have 20 words on here, all these services, then it's going to confuse the viewer, and they're not going to fully gather what you're trying to convey to them after looking at it. They'll just toss it right over their head, because what happens is you bombard the user with so much information that they don't know how to process it, and actually they end up rejecting it. They subconsciously reject it. So it actually goes against your objective, your marketing objective, to have more than like 5, 6, 7 lines, 7 words on your yard sign. Keep it short, keep it simple, and profit. Okay, next one. We have what is called the lawn sign. As I mentioned earlier, and this is an example of a lawn sign. Okay, and this is a lawn sign that is done by, that we recently did for a customer, and it says the company's name on it, Wise Guys Painting and Flooring. It has estimated 1970 to give the user some type of reassurance that this company has been around for quite a while. It's got a full color background, so actually if you look at it from far away, the lighting's not doing it justice right now, but if you look at this from far away, you can actually tell that this is a paint in the background. But this is done in such a way that it doesn't detract from the main point of the entire yard sign, because the main point of the entire yard sign is obviously to let the neighborhood know, the people walking by and driving by, to know that this guy does painting and he does flooring, and this is the company's name. So the company, it's got a company's name, it's got the logo, it's got the paintbrush in the background kind of indicating that it's a painting, and also the phone number with an effect. This phone number actually has an effect, which is white phone number, but in the back it's a black shadow. So this right here is what we call a full color, full bleed yard sign. And when it comes to lawn signs and yard signs, and you're representing your brand through these signs with your company name and everything, I definitely recommend you go the extra mile, get full color, full bleed, because this is how you portray your image to your prospective customers. keep in mind, when we're doing these, you're not trying to, you don't have your company name on here, you don't have your branding, you're not trying to sell them on who you are or whatnot, you're trying to sell them on what service they need. All this is all the user needs. If they're interested, they're going to call this number. So that's a completely different application than a yard sign. So right here alone, we have 2 different applications for the same type of material, corrugated plastic. So now we're talking about lawn signs. And another thing that you could do with a lawn sign is you can kind of explore and play around with the different wording and formatting you have and all that. And of course, we have a bunch of templates for you to choose from. Depending on what industry you're in, we even have this nice pressure washing template. It's full color. You could choose that. We also have the ability to make that pressure washing template into one color if that is what you so choose. So, but yeah, you see here you have the phone number at the bottom, company name, service, basic service, and things like that, right? So that's another thing that I want to bring up, and I'm going to save the political yard signs for a completely different video because that's a beast of its own. We definitely want to go fully in depth on political campaign signs and how to structure one of those designs. But right now, I'm going to go into something that I very commonly see, and I think it's not given enough attention in the industry because it's a very common misconception. I see it all the time, almost every single day, where somebody uploads a picture of their business card, or they actually have the print ready file for their business card, and then they submit that as their print ready artwork for a yard sign. And this is not a very well-known practice. I mean, it's not a very well-known piece of information, and we don't expect any of you guys as customers to really know this information because we're the printers. You're coming to us for the advice, and that's why I'm here to explain this to you. You do not want to use a business card design as a yard sign, and let me tell you why. Because the business card is meant to be used from your hands. This is meant in a very specific context because the user actually picks up the card, whether it's from your hands or whether it's from a desk or some type of shelf or something. I'm not able to get a good clarity on this. There we go. So you see this, the way that it's laid out. You have the company name, you have the contact information, email, website, address, and all that stuff. You don't want all that stuff on a yard sign. You don't want all that mumbo jumbo because it's just flooding that real estate, minimal real estate that you have, and the user is not spending their own sweet time looking at it in the palm of their hands. They're driving past it or they're walking past it, and they don't have the luxury of sitting there for 20 seconds, 15 seconds, admiring the beauty of your yard sign the way that they do with the business card. So please keep that in mind. Do not upload your business card image into a yard sign and expect it to work for you. We try to flag this as much as possible in the case whenever we see that. So a lot of the times we just make the proof for the customer because we know that sending those orders through to production isn't going to work all the time. But however, there are times when we do miss that because they look very much so like a yard sign, and a lot of the times we do have the instance where the user definitely wants to go ahead with what they provided, which is why they provided it in the first place. So we don't always catch it, but I'm just letting you know now, if you find yourself trying to upload a business card image to a yard sign product, don't do that. We do free yard sign designs, so don't even worry about that. We'll go ahead and design it from scratch for you. We'll go up to 3 times to make you the design until you're happy. So it's free, so just take advantage of our free design service for the yard signs. So if you can imagine, this is another instance of a business card that we actually have in circulation. This would not work on a yard sign. This is so much information. We print almost anything: yard signs, postcards, flyers, brochures, door hangers, t-shirts, stickers, and more, and the website address. So, I mean, we can use this concept to make a yard sign, but as far as using it as is for a yard sign, it's not going to work because not only is the text and the address irrelevant, like people don't need to know the address on a yard sign. They're not seeing it at the address location. Like it serves no purpose for the customer to see the address unless they are interested in the service, in which case they may not drive to the location. They would rather call the location or go to the website. The website makes sense, www.printhere.houston.com, but the size of this website address is not good for a yard sign. This is good for a business card, but remember when we were talking about the contact information for a sign, a lawn sign, we have it giant. It's almost as the same size as the headline itself. And then when it comes to the Bandit sign, the phone number is actually bigger than the words up here. So this is so important, the contact information on the yard signs, lawn signs, and bandit signs. So it's a completely different application. So just keep that in mind. And then you also have, on a business card, you have two different sides that you could take advantage of, but a lot of the times on a yard sign, people don't really use both sides the same way that they do a business card, because it's not something you can just easily flip in your hands like this. You have to literally walk behind it and see the other side, and a lot of the times people do use different advertisements for both sides, and you can make it work for you, and we do have that service available as well. Totally available for you, front and back different is what it's called on the yard sign page. A lot of the times it's used by directional arrows, where it says this side is open house pointing this way, and the other side is also the arrow, so no matter which way you orient it, it's going to point in the arrow direction that you choose. But anyway, that's a different point. So those are some of the tips that I have for you guys on making a yard sign and lawn sign and bandit sign. So stay tuned. If you're in a political campaign and you want to know advice on how to design your political campaign yard sign, stay tuned. I'll make another video for that. And if you made it all the way to this far in the video, I appreciate you very much for taking your time out of your busy day. I know you got a business to run, you got things to do with your life, employees to manage and whatnot. Appreciate you taking the time to stop by and check out this video, and I hope you get good value from this free nuggets of information on how to design your yard sign. Or you can get us designed for free. We'll be happy to do so. Alright guys, take care. Thanks for watching.